everybody. I'm super excited to have you here. I'm actually re-recording the first week of class because we had some technical issues in trying to get it up on the website. So I thought I would take advantage of this beautiful day outside and just sit outside and re-record this so that we will have, for those of you following along on Facebook, that you would have the opportunity to be able to continue following along. So week one, mind over matter. Really the purpose of our 6-week course is to try to shift our mindset from the status quo and to be able to understand the connection between our mind and how it influences our habits and decisions that we make, particularly as it pertains to health. So really what we're hoping to be able to gain by the end of this 6 weeks is that we're just going to test different things. My goal is to push you outside of your comfort zone, is to really challenge some of the status quo habits that you currently do right now, and to be able to make you a little uncomfortable so that you can kind of test that water and see. And that also you'll be able to glean an understanding of how important it is to be able to get both our conscious mind and our subconscious mind working together in unison so that we can make better health decisions and be able to have lasting health results as we make those decisions. So that is that's our goal. That's where we are going to go with this class. So the first thing that I would like to do is really talk about how you want to measure your success. So everybody is here for a reason, and the question is, what does success look like to you? We are a society that is obsessed with the scale. And it might be weight that you want to be able to measure, but it might be something else as well. So let me give you an example. My daughter lost 4 or 5 pounds, but she lost 3 inches in her waist and 2 inches in her hips. Do you think she cares what the scale says? No, of course not. She is so happy that her clothes are fitting better, but better yet, she needed to be able to lose inches in order to remain within the qualifications. She's in the Air Force, of her being able to stay in the Air Force. And so those inches were like gold to her. And that was very, very important to her. So for her, the measurement wasn't what the scale said. The measurement was more physical appearance and being able to maintain what that physical appearance is. So for people that are working out, again, it may not be the scale. It might be body mass index. It might be, muscle development. Remember that muscle weighs more than fat. It might be energy. It might be that I don't have enough energy to be able to get through the course of the day and do everything that I need to do, and I simply want to have more energy. So really just think about how it is that you want to be able to measure your success, not only at the outcome of this next 6 weeks, but also to measure your success, moving forward. And so think about what that is. It does not have to be the scale. And so it's whatever is meaningful to you. And so then that ties us into the next thing that we want to really talk about, and this is very, very, very crucial. If we really want to be able to have lasting success, this is super, super crucial. So take the time, work through the exercise of this because it's very important. And what this is determining our why. So really what it is that deeper meaning, that deeper purpose as to why it is that we want to be on this journey, that we want to be able to have better health, and that we want to be able to move forward. So on the surface, it's really easy. Why? Well, I want to feel better. I want to look better. I want to, have more energy. I want to weigh less. So pretty easy on the surface. But the surface answer, we make that goal January 1st. You know what? I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year. And by February 2nd, you're like, well, you know what? The food I eat, I really like it. I want to keep with the lifestyle that I have. And 50 pounds isn't really so important to me anymore. And that's because we make those goals with our conscious mind rather than, allowing that goal to seep into our unconscious mind as well. And we don't have a really deep reason as to why we want to do it. It seems like it's a good idea on the surface, but if we don't dig deep and find that really, really strong reason and purpose, the chances of us really sticking with it and carrying out that goal all the way to the end is pretty slim to nil. So really, the way that you get to the why is by asking yourself why. So I would like to lose, 100 pounds. So that's where I started. But for me, it was more than just the weight. It's also that I would like to be able to have a better quality of life. I want to feel better. I want to have energy. I don't want aches and pains. I want to be agile and be able to do everything that I want to do without any physical limitations. So that for me is really, what I want. So then I ask myself, why? Well, why do you want that? Well, because I want to be able to enjoy life better. Well, what does really enjoying life better mean to you? So then, it means that for me, it's a part of giving back. So I lived with my mother for 20 years and she suffered from chronic illness. I watched her day in and day out. Now, my mother was a very positive person, and, every one of me and my sisters, we came out of her womb optimistic, is what I tell people, right? The glass is half full, there's always a silver lining. That's how we were raised. That's what I believe. It's a part of my core being and who I am. And so, as I really think and dig deep into finding out what my why is, it's because I have realized that people don't have to suffer the way that my mother has and that my mother did, right? But they have to be able to better understand health choices that are being made, and these choices very often start early in life because chronic illness didn't happen overnight. It's chronic, and it took years and years and years to develop, years of habits to develop. And if we really can get better control over our habits, the sooner we get better control over our habits, the healthier we are and the better chance that we have of never coming down with a chronic illness in the first place. And so I have a really deep mission, that this is what I want to do. I'm doing it not just for myself, but I'm also doing it as my way of giving back and honoring my mother, to say not everybody has to go through what she went through. And the reality is so many people are going through that, even right now as we speak. It may be you. And so there's a way to be able to overcome that. And that my mission is really to be able to share how we overcome that and how we change our habits and make them more healthful and make them to be able to align towards a healthier, more satisfying way of living, not having the physical limitations that are associated with chronic illness. So really take some time before we move into the next section of this and really think about and dig deep as to what is your reason? What is your why? What is that purpose? Keep asking why. You should get emotional. You should feel like you have connected to your soul when you all of a sudden have reached that real reason. And as soon as you have reached that real reason, write it down. This is very important. Write it down. Because you want to be able to post it, you want to look at it every day. Maybe you're even going to put it on a card and carry it with you, so that every time you run into a difficulty or a challenge, or you think, you know what, I don't want to do this. You pull out that card and you read your why, and you're like, oh yeah, that's why I'm doing this, and it gets you right back on track. It is a very, very, very powerful tool. All right, so take a few minutes, really dig deep and figure out what your why is. And then we're going to come back and we're going to start talking about, our two minds, our conscious mind and our subconscious mind, and, what they are and why they're important. All right, so I'll see you back in a few minutes.